Gentlemen, how are you? This is Armando Cruz, and today I just want to talk to you about your story and the power of that story. And we've all seen the power of story, but we don't always think about it. And worse, we often think that our story isn't good enough. And I'm sure if you've ever watched any form of TV, especially like these talent shows like America's Got Talent or American Idol, think about what draws you to the people, how you make connections with them. And what you'll find is that they have a talent, but there have been, in fact, the most talented person is actually usually not the one that wins. Very often, it's someone with a lot of talent that has a great story. And what does story do? Or what does the story do? It's the fastest way for you to create connection with someone. And, personally, I felt very much probably like you do. My story isn't that good. Or maybe you do have a powerful story, but you don't share it. But for me, my story was, I have a business. I've been married for I don't know how many years at that point. I think we were 7 years married, my wife and I. We had 2 kids. We had the third one on the way. And for whatever reason, my mind and I felt like everything was closing. I felt trapped. I don't know if you've ever felt trapped, but trapped by your circumstances, trapped in your mind, trapped in what you wanted to do, what you thought you would be doing by that point. And so there's all these things in your mind that feel like they're holding you back like an anchor. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but that's where I was in my life about 4 years ago. And it got to the point where I didn't know what to do, who to talk to, because from the outside, it looked like everything was okay. I had a great family. I had a great business. I was serving people, helping them eliminate pain, helping them with their health and fitness goals. I was doing good work. My kids were healthy. We had a house. We had nice cars. We got to go on vacations. From the outside, everything was perfect. And so who was I to complain? Who was I to essentially feel like not necessarily that it wasn't good enough, but that I wanted more? And who was going to listen to that? Because most people would have said, man, I'd kill for your life. And now I'm saying, I'm not happy with the way it is. And so it was a big dilemma that took me in a really dark place, to the point where I almost bankrupted the business, and it caused severe strain with my wife and our relationship. Plus, she was getting ready to have our third child. And I went into this deep, dark place that eventually I ended up having a conversation with one of my coaches, with a mentor of mine. And he invited me to Thailand to do one of his retreats. He thought this could be really helpful to kind of get you away from where you are, plus this will help kind of bring more light in your life. And it did exactly that. It gave me the perspective that the business that I had was amazing. I was serving people in a really powerful level in a way that I was really much connected to. But I also discovered that there was something else that I wanted to do. I also discovered that there was another way I wanted to serve on a deeper, more personal level. And that was to help men just like myself, that were married, that were entrepreneurs, and wanted to show up more powerfully in their marriage, in their health, in their business, and the impact and the legacy that they wanted to leave for their family and for generations to come. That was me in a nutshell. And I had wrestled with it to the point where when I got the clarity that I needed in Thailand, I realized there are other men just like me. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you're married, you have kids, but you're wrestling that there's something off in your business, in your health, in your marriage, in your other relationships with the people that matter most in your life. And now you're like, what do I do? Or you've gotten to the point where you say, is that all there is? That's where I was. And that's where I want to empower you to listen to your story. What is your story right now? And is your story currently serving you? Maybe you have a story right now that says nothing good ever happens to you. Perhaps you have a story right now that says you can't have a good marriage because everyone in your family is divorced. Perhaps you have a story that says, you know what, I can't be healthy because I've been, over here in Miami, they say, I've been chunky all my life, or husky. Husky is the word growing up, right? I've always been overweight, so there's no way I can get healthy. It's just, it's too late. What are these stories? And the question is, are they serving you? If you have a vision of something greater than what your current story is, it doesn't need to stay at the current status. But I can guarantee you one thing, it's gonna stay there if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So pay attention to your story. Get clear on what that is. Ask yourself, is it serving me? And say, is my current story in alignment with the vision I want for my future? And if it is, great, head down that way. But if it isn't, and you'd like some help, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you, hop on a call, and perhaps give you a little bit more clarity. But I just wanted to perhaps bring to light the power of story. The power of story. And every single one of us have it. And everyone's story is worth telling. And if the one that you have no longer serves you, how can we start creating a new one? This has been me, Armando, and I'll catch you later.